Hello and welcome back to my backyard snack yard. We're out here in between showers on this quite rainy July day to have a look at this wonderful plant here. This is an Eleagnus Ebbingei, also known as the Silverberry, because he has some beautiful silver speckles all over his leaves. They're quite wet with rain, but they are speckled, and even the berries, when they come, also have these beautiful silver speckles on them. So it's a really attractive plant. It's used in landscaping a lot because it's really tough and hardy, and also has these wonderful fragrant flowers. They're really quite small, so they come also at a different time of year, unusual time of year I should say, in the autumn, sort of between October and November here in the UK, and they smell beautiful. They have sort of a cinnamony scent to them. And because they're so small, you don't always see them right away, and so you don't know where the scent's coming from, but they're very lovely. And then the berries come afterwards. The berries are really loved by birds, which is always a good thing, but you can also make all kinds of interesting dishes with them, syrups and things. I think people do eat them straight out off the plant, like raw, but yeah, we'll see how we like them if and when this guy flowers. I've had him in a pot now for a few years. I bought him from a company that sells really tiny plants that you have to grow on for quite a while before you see any fruits and flowers and things, but he's growing well. He's supposed to be growing a lot faster, and I think if I'd been treating him a bit better, had him in a bigger pot, he would have done better and grown faster. You can see he's been sort of mistreated by birds. He's had his pot emptied out and that sort of thing, but I want to get him into the ground because this guy is really popular with permaculture gardening because he's a great companion plant, one that you want to grow next to nitrogen hungry plants, because he is a nitrogen fixer. So he can snatch nitrogen out of the atmosphere and store it in little root nodules, which can then benefit other plants. They've done experiments with this and to see how beneficial they really are for other plants growing nearby. So they've grown them in like orchards, and they found that having these plants grown next to those fruit trees, the surrounding fruit trees had a 10% extra yield. So definitely a beneficial plant to have near fruit trees, especially nitrogen hungry ones. So I was considering planting it near my plum trees. I've got two plum trees over here. I've got actually two dwarf ones. One is a Violetta. I showed it recently. It's a Swedish one, and it's still in a pot, so I need to plant it quite soon. The other is this Victoria plum, also a dwarf, and it's been doing really poorly, so I have given it a good prune recently. It's gotten a lot shorter, and it actually has a few plums on it, really late ones too. I wasn't expecting that at all. I didn't see any flowers because we had such a cold spring that it just wasn't doing very well. But it would be ideal to plant this guy near them so they can really benefit. So I'll have to see if I can squeeze it in somewhere, move things around a little bit. But yeah, it's a really wonderful plant for so many reasons, so it'd be really nice to put it in somewhere where it can really be used, and then every time I prune it, it will just release some of that nitrogen from its root nodules where it's storing it. So really, really lovely. And of course the fact that it produces wonderful flowers so late in the season means that it's really great and beneficial for late pollinators, the little bees that are buzzing about looking for some last minute nectar before they hibernate. And of course then it has fruits early in the season, which is like around March or so, March, April, which is brilliant as well when there's nothing else edible out there. We can get our first berries. So yeah, really, really wonderful little shrub to have. So I'm very excited about planting it into the garden and hopefully seeing some beautiful flowers and getting the chance to really spread its roots out there and get going. So I hope you found this interesting. Let me know what you think. This is one that is really common in hedgerows and things, or in hedging, I think. So you might well have one of these in your garden. But I'll see you next time. Thank you for watching.